Hey guys, today we are going to talk about the shapes of box and whisker plots. So to begin, we are going to review a little bit of what we've already talked about. So we know that a box and whisker plot is a way that displays data, and we divide the data into 4 sections. So the values used to create the box and whisker plot, you have your minimum value and your maximum value. And then you find your middle value, which is your median. And then using that lower half of your data, you find the middle value of that, and that's your Q1. Then take your upper half of your data and find the middle of that, that's your Q3. So we've divided our data into 4 sections of 25% each. So our 5-number summary would consist of the minimum, the Q1, the median or Q2, the upper quartile or Q3, and your maximum. Okay? And then we draw a box around the middle half of your data, which is your inner quartile range. And then you just draw a whisker out to the min and out to the max. And that is pretty much what we worked on already to draw the box and whisker plot. We also defined the range and spread already. We know that the range is the max minus the min. And that is how spread out the data is. We know that the inner quartile range is another way to measure the spread, and that is Q3 minus Q1. That is your inner quartile range. You'll see it abbreviated IQR, and that is the middle 50% of the data. Okay? So the shape changes when we have outliers. Okay? So when you have an outlier, it's going to move the mean more than it's going to move the median. Okay? So when you have an outlier, we use median instead of mean. Okay? So in a symmetric shape, I guess, of your data, the mean is going to be close to the median. They're about the same. So you don't have any outliers pulling your data, okay? So you have no outliers. When you have something that's skewed left like this, typically you have a very low outlier. Okay, you see how this whisker to the left is a lot longer? So you typically have an outlier down here, and it's gonna pull the mean down. So the mean is gonna end up less than the median. Okay, so that pulls this out this way. Okay, the median typically stays where it was or close to where it was. It doesn't change very much. So we would use the median as a measurement if we had a data set that's skewed left. The same thing goes when we have something that's skewed right. Typically, this whisker is longer, and you have an outlier out here, right? So we have a very high outlier. And it's going to make the mean greater, so the mean is going to be greater than the median. So again, we would use the median as a central point more than we would use the mean in this situation. Okay? So that's kind of the different types of data you can see. If you had a box plot, you would see that the tallest data points are on the right in this situation, and it would kind of tail off here like that. That's kind of what it looks like. Oops, sorry. And then if we had something here, it would the tower would be in this direction, and then it would tail off that way. That's typically what it looks like in that case. Okay? So, oops, thought we had another page. We do. Here we go. So an outlier, I would say, is something, a data point that pulls the mean away from the median. All right, there's an actual formula to calculate an outlier. We are not going to do the formula, or we're not going to do the calculation. But if you're interested, just let me know and I will show you how to do that. Okay, so the snowfall in inches of the top 10 snowiest cities in the United States in a recent year is given below. Find the 5-number summary, draw the box and whisker plot, and then answer the questions that follow. So we have to put our data points in order. So we have 97, 98, 100, 103, 105, 110, 112, 117, 129, and 156. Okay, so our minimum is 97, our maximum is 156, and then our median is going to be 105 plus 110, divided by 2, so 107.5. And then to calculate the Q1, since we average these, we're going to start with 105 and 97, and then 98, 103. So 100 is going to be our Q1, and then we count the 110 in the top half of our group, and then 117 is going to be our Q3. So then we have to figure out what our graph is going to look like. And so when I do 156 minus 97, I got 59 divided by 12 is about 5. So we're going to count by 5. So 95, 100, 105, 110, 115, 120, 125, 130, 135, 140, 145, 150, 155. So 156 is going to end up around here. 97, 100 is going to be the first part of our box. And then 107.5. And then 117. So something like this is going to be what your box looks like. So I have a whisker on that side and have a whisker on this side. So you can see right away from this graph, it's not symmetrical, so it is skewed. And it's pulled this way, so we're going to say it's skewed right. So yes, there are outliers, and our outlier is 156. The mean of the data, so when I added them all up and then divided by 10, I think I had 112.7. So you can see that the mean and the median are not the same. Okay, so that tells you when the mean gets greater than the median that it was skewed to the right. So what percent have less than 100? So here's my 100. So this side of my graph is 25%. Each section, remember, is 25% of your data. So less than 100% is, or 100 is 25%. And then here's my 117. So greater than that is another 100%, or 25%. Sorry. All right. Outliers affect the shape and the mean more than the median. If a data set has an outlier, then the median is the best measure of tendency because it changes the least. So comparing box and whisker plots, so let's take a look at this. What's the same for both sets? So it looks like the max is the same for both sets. So the median for test 2 is greater than, equal to, or less than the median for test 1. So here's test 2, the median, and then test 1 is up here. So test 2 is greater than test 1. What for test 1 is the same as something for test 2? I would say that the Q3 for test 1 is the same as the median for test 2. Scores for what are more spread out? So spread out is definitely test 1. So test 1 are more spread out than the scores for test 2. And you can see if you were to calculate the range for test 1 is going to be much greater. Range equals the max minus the min equals the range. And interquartile range is Q3 minus Q1, and that equals the IQR. All right, test 1 are blank than range and interquartile range of test 2. I would say they are going to be greater because, we're just writing this size again. Max minus min is range. Interquartile range is Q3 minus Q1 equals IQR. All right, so test 1 is greater than because the range is going to be more than 20. It's like 29, I think. The IQR is 84 minus 74, which is 10. And the range down here is 20. And the IQR is 8. Okay, so those are the types of questions you need to be able to answer. If you have any questions, just let me know.